Spring is here, and I've got big plans for this Neutrino. In New Brunswick, the trails can grow in rather quickly. In addition, windstorms can often knock down trees, blocking trails and access. So what we're going to do today is see if we can turn this mini Velo into a trail clearing machine. Let's do that. The first thing we've got to do is swap out these racks. As cool as it would be to use this existing support, I don't think we're going to get that lucky just because of the spacing here. So we're going to have to drop it down probably about an inch. I like to keep a little bit of this upward tilt. It just keeps everything nicely seated on the rack. Wow, does that ever work well? So mounted in this position, there's the clearance that we have. The original bracket might work really well, but I can't find it. So let's make one. So to get a good idea of how long I need it, I just put this whole rod into place. I don't need to cut or anything yet. I'll just move this back and then I'll make a mark where I need to make the bend. So I've made my marks. This is where the top of the rack is. This middle one is kind of where I want the bend so that it lines up with the top. So I'm considering a couple different things here. I want to make sure this is not exactly flat, but leaning back just slightly, just so that the saw stays a little tucked in. The other thing I want to do is I want to make sure that the angles of these tubes match kind of the angle for aesthetic purposes. It's a little consideration, but overall, form and function are both important. No, that's a bit too much. That's good. This one's Irish coffee scented. Love it. I really like how this turned out. And honestly, it's probably tougher than the one that came with the rack. I'm not going to tighten this up entirely. I want it to have a little bit of movement, and I'll do the final torque once it's on the bike. There we go. Some decent clearance now. I like it. Yeah, so this sits really comfortably on there. I know this bar is a little bit long and will stick out a little bit. Still seems workable. Let's service this chainsaw. Make sure it's running well after the winter. Need to add a little bit of bar oil and some fuel. Need to adjust the chain tension just a bit. First pull of the season never goes. Now let's figure out how we're going to strap this down. I've got these old tubes that should work. So I've never been a courier, but I'm going to channel the courier vibes right now. I'd like to make something like this I got from La Chouette. It's really neat, but it's not going to be strong enough. So I think I'm going to use something like an old climbing carabiner and double reinforce this, and that should work a little bit better. Honestly, the best way to probably use this is to leave the entire tube intact, but where's the fun in that? There we go. I want to leave this a little bit bigger, just so it's easy to get in there. I think that'll be enough. We'll give this a try and see how it goes. Okay, so I tried something else. I had these really tough rubber mats. It was moving around a little bit too much on the rack, so putting that made it really stable. And I've also looped it over a couple times, and that seems to work a lot better. Couriers, I'd love to hear your input. Actually works pretty good. I'm going to put on this cargo net for kind of a backup if the bungee lets go. Probably one of the most important items. Spring is right around the corner, but even though the weather's getting nicer, there's still a little bit of snow here and there. First impressions, this thing is solid. Even on the single track and snowy trails. Honestly, it didn't take long to find a tree across the trail. Time to head back. This performed way better than I thought it would. With the low slung rack, it distributed the weight really well and gave me a lot of confidence in the single track and snowy trails. The fabricated support worked really well, and the chainsaw stayed locked down the whole time. I'd say this was mission success. Oh, that was a lot of fun. Definitely not what I expected to do on a mini Velo, but it's just another interesting story in this bike's life. There's so much potential in this bike. I'm really excited to get out there and continue to explore the possibilities. It's so much fun, and I'm stoked.